baby. Oh my god, I'm so stoked. I was not expecting to get this package today. I hadn't ordered this that long ago, and I never got an email with tracking, so I figured they were just kind of a little bit behind in their warehouse. And then I got home from work just now, and it's here. It freaking came. Oh, this is a big purchase. This is like a step above um, the kind of range of knives I usually buy. This is a step above. This is something special. Let's open it. Oh, all right. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do it. You'll be happy that you did. It's a good channel, I promise. Check down there, see if you're or make sure you're subscribed. And then my Instagram is duties_daggers. So go follow me over there. We're almost to 1,000 followers on Instagram, so that's kind of cool. I just post good knife photos in there. I've gotten pretty good at taking pictures of knives. And I'll announce live streams and giveaways and everything over there. All right. Oh, here we go. Unboxing with the CJRB Pyrite. Here we go. Here we freaking go. Woo, look at that! Oh, whoo. Oh my god. Alright, so, if you follow along with my videos, you know that I recently became a massive TRM fan. Because I got my hands on a Shadow. I've wanted this knife for a very long time, ever since I first saw it, and they're just so hard to get. The drops are in very limited number. I mean, they happen not very regularly, and the amount of knives in the drops are pretty small. So, it's hard to get these, man. Same with all the TRMs, but it seems like the Shadows are even a little bit harder than the others. And I'm in love with this knife. I'm literally, like, in a love affair with this knife. It is so good. It's just so high quality. So, when I saw this available, I immediately bought it without question. And it was a little over my budget. Actually, a lot over my budget. So, that's the reason I'm having a knife sale. I'm selling some knives so that I can pay for this knife. Absolutely worth it. I can't believe I got this. I mean, my luck in scoring 2 TRMs within a couple weeks of each other is just nuts, dude. Let's open this thing up. So this one came in like a plastic tube thing. This is in an actual box. All right, here we go. Are you guys ready? Oh, shit, dude. This is unbelievable. No way, dude. This texture might be the best texture I've ever seen on titanium. Holy mother of G's. This is beautiful. This is the TRM Atom in textured titanium. Holy crap. So this knife has come in titanium before with but it just had like small milling lines on it. This is the first time they've done like a heavy texturing, I believe. Definitely the first time they've done this pattern. And when I saw this, I didn't think there was any way I would be able to get it. And then lo and behold, I somehow went to TRM at just the right time, I guess. And they were in stock. Oh my god, this is beautiful. This is a thumb stud deployer. Let's go ahead and do it. Oh. 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 Wow. This is very good. I'm just kind of taking it in right now. Oh, it's a good detent. Look at this thing. Unbelievably sharp factory edge. The factory edge on the shadow was the sharpest factory edge I've ever seen, without doubt. It did unbelievably well in the cutting test. Best knife I've ever cut with. Period. Um, that has a lot to do with the geometry here. TRM is known for having very thin blade stock, very slicey blades, and that is absolutely true. Look at these things. They look to be about the same on the blade stock thickness, but we'll measure them here in a minute. But just for comparison, look at the Shaman here. I mean, the Shaman is quite big on the blade stock, but I mean, look at that. The Quiet Carry 9, thinner than that one as well. So this thing cut just unbelievably well. So this blade shape, I call it a sheep's foot. Someone might call it a reverse tanto, but to me that's a sheep's foot. And here we have just kind of a drop point, but a very interestingly shaped drop point. It's a very low tip on this guy. I mean, compared to the handle and the pivot, this tip, the whole blade is actually kind of pointing down. So really low tip on this baby. Yeah, I can easily get to the tip for utility cutting. That is awesome. This is the best kind of drop point for me. Low tip. Actually, the shadow might have more belly. Yeah, it looks like the shadow has more belly than the Atom actually. Swoops up to a bit of a higher tip. Interesting. Wonder what would happen if we... Yeah, if we kind of line them up pivot to pivot, you can see where the tips land. So the Atom's a bit longer blade, and the tip's a bit lower as well. Not as broad of a blade this way. Oh my gosh. So this, both of these knives actually are on phosphor bronze washers. So no bearings in these knives. This one has an inset titanium liner lock. Check that out. Inset into these titanium scales, full liners, no milling on the inside. We have jimping on the spot right there. I have heard that these become glassy smooth after a little while. I can already tell that is going to be the case. This is not a drop shut knife because it is on washers, but it will smoothen out, and I gotta say it's kind of refreshing in a way to get back to some good washer knives. Now I do have some good washer knives that I carry a lot, like the Shaman. That's a washer knife, and my Mannix. All my Spydercos are washer knives. But aside from that, most of my knives are on bearings, and it's just kind of nice. There's something just kind of good and nice about phosphor bronze action. It's a little bit more... It's not as drop shut, obviously. It's a little bit more of a controlled hydraulic action. And for me, I don't have to worry about them getting all gunked up at work as much as with bearings. If I carry a knife with bearings at work, at the end of the day, when I go to open up the knife, I can hear grittiness in there. And I just have to blow it out with the compressed air, and then it's fine. But you don't have to do that with these I'd probably have to take them apart and kind of clean the washers out maybe like once a month, but that's about it. Um, can I get the reverse flick? I know it's possible. Actually, you know what? I forgot I have some freaking O-rings for this already. God, this is beautiful. It's a thin knife, but it's not quite as thin as I was expecting, and I'm happy about that. I was hoping it wasn't going to be like unbelievably thin. This is very thin, but it's not too thin. This is perfect. Oh my God, this is just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The texture is smaller and then gradually grows toward the top. The way they do that, oh my God. This is just unbelievable. So if you don't know about TRM, these are small batch knives made in the USA. That's why they're so hard to get. They're not a large facility, so they're not able to pump out large numbers of knives like Spyderco and Benchmade and other companies. Um, and that's what makes their knives kind of a little bit more special because you know I don't know. TRM knives have a certain feeling to them, and I noticed it as soon as I started carrying the Shadow, and that feeling is continuing now that am holding the Atom here. They feel like there is more love put into them than other larger knife manufacturers. And it's kind of hard to put it into words. I was watching Bearded Gear's review of the Atom, or maybe it was the Shadow. I forget which one. I was on some TRM, and he was saying, and it really makes sense to me that they kind of feel almost like they're a mid tech, but not in the classical sense of mid tech. Mid tech meaning like it almost feels like a custom in a way, um, because they're done by hand. A lot of it, obviously there's a lot of machining going on. But it almost seems like there is just more hand work done on these, and I could be wrong. But it's just a feeling I'm trying to describe. Um, the attention to detail is just really, really next level. Um, I mean, from having a very nicely machined um, pivot. I mean, look at that. But not only the pattern on here, but it's also a contoured pivot so that it matches the contour of the G10. You can see there's three separate kind of surfaces within this milling. If you get it in the right light, yeah, right there. See that? There's like three surfaces within the milling, and that's to give it the contour so there's no sharp edges around it. Just little stuff like that. The inside chamfer. On the inside edge, there's a chamfer all the way around the whole knife, and it breaks right there where the stop pin is. Just little stuff like that, man. I mean, gosh. The lines that they mill in and this cutout. Hardware is completely and totally flush. The fit up is just really, really tight in here. No gaps anywhere. Edges are all knocked down on the spine here, all around the knife. These are contoured scales as well. If you look down here, you can see there's a slight contour to them. This is a quite comfortable knife too, and I'm glad it isn't thinner than it is, because too much thinner and it would start to become uncomfortable probably. But this is a comfortable knife. And that really good choke up spot. Not a huge kind of finger groove, but there's a lot of room to kind of move around and get where you want. It doesn't force you into a specific spot. Let me let Floki out. He's whining. Um, their logo is, I think it's electro etched in. It's not a laser like you see on most knives. Um, like the Spyderco logo. You run your finger over it, you don't feel anything. Maybe a little bit of roughness. but it's lasered onto the surface. This is actually etched into, deep into the surface. You can tell right there. Like, it's actually deep in there. That's so cool. It's more like a classic maker's mark you'd see on like a fixed blade or something. Same with this. It's actually into the surface. It's not just lasered on. Maybe they do it with a laser, but it's kind of looks like something that you'd see like electro etched on. The 20 CV that they use seems to be very, very good. I mean, this thing was slicing paper better than any knife I've tested after all the cut testing I did with it. The measurements behind the edges are not super thin, but the blade stock being as thin as it is, and them being flat grinds, full flat grinds, really makes them just uber, uber slicey. Gosh. I'm in love with this thing. Let's put the O-ring on and see how that feels. Now the thing about the Atom is we have this cutout here for ergos and for access to the thumb stud on this side. But on this side, that thumb stud is very close to the scale here, which is why it's kind of hard to reverse flick. You can't like get your finger behind the thumb stud. And also, I don't think you can put an O-ring on this one. But that's fine. Let's put an O-ring on the main side. See how it feels. I noticed a big difference putting them on the shadow. I feel like I can kick the blade out just better. I have like an actual grip on the thumb stud now. So that was a big improvement on the shadow. Let's see how it does on here. I am just blown away. I'm so in love with this thing. Look how good that looks, dude. The texture. Oh yeah, that feels good. I think the white looks pretty nice too. Keep it monochrome, baby. Excellent edge. Oh my god. This might be one of the crown jewels of the collection. I don't know how many they're going to make of these. Probably not a whole lot. This might be pretty rare. I can't believe I got one. It cost me, I think it was $380. It was about $380. Now stock, just a regular standard version of these, are actually a really good deal. I forget exactly how much they are. But for what they are, small batch American made knives, they're actually a decent price. The shadow here was, I think, it was like was it? Yeah, it was like $260 or something like that. So significantly cheaper than this one. But, you know, it's G10. This is textured tie. I can just tell this is going to smoothen out so nice. Serial blade play, rock solid. Gosh, I'm so in love. Oh my god, I'm so in love. Look how beautiful. Alright, that's it, folks. I'm going to sit here and just look at this for a while longer. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love you guys so much. And please like the video before you head out. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. Adios.